If you've been around the wrestling video game scene for any length of time, you've probably heard of Fire Pro Wrestling. With timing-based gameplay, AI that simulates real wrestling, huge rosters, and tons of customization, Fire Pro Wrestling has often set the standard for other series to follow. While most of the series never came out outside of Japan, its influence cannot be understated, with ripple effects you can feel in highly acclaimed games like the Aki Virtual Pro Wrestling series. But what happens when a trendsetter loses its confidence in the face of change? Human Entertainment, the creators of the series, had thrived in the 2D era, but now it's 1996. Now 3D games are the new hotness. Now Human has gone from setting the trends to chasing them. The end result? A troubled PS1 game called Fire Pro Wrestling, Iron Slam 96. A spectacular embarrassment that lives in infamy as the black sheep of the franchise. So what happened? What went wrong? Why is this game so infamous? There's only one way to find out, so without further ado, let's take a look.
There will be spoilers.
Human launched Fire Pro Wrestling with a game called Combination Tag in 1989. From there, a franchise was born, and the next several years were successful, as their output would be prolific and ambitious. But with the Sega Saturn, PlayStation, and Nintendo 64, 3D games went from being novelties to being the new standard, and many franchises struggled with that transition. For example, the Castlevania series split between trying to go 3D on the N64 and perfecting 2D on the PlayStation with Symphony of the Night. Human decided that 3D was the only option, and so they made the leap on March 15, 1996, when they released Iron Slam 96. Not even 4 months earlier, they had released Super Fire Pro Wrestling X on the Super Famicom. And if you played both of those games, the difference was night and day. Iron Slam 96 is missing so much of what made Fire Pro great. It looks awkward and tentative compared to Human's Super Famicom output, and that feeling of regression and shallowness would only be reinforced when just 2 weeks later, Human released their swan song for the 2D era, as Super Fire Pro Wrestling X Premium released on Super Famicom on March 29th. Talk about an own goal. They pretty much immediately reminded everyone the 2D games are the real Fire Pro games, this one is a joke. So, what did Iron Slam 96 bring to the table? Iron Slam 96 is a painfully bare-bones experience. Gone are the days of expansive rosters filled with copyright-friendly knockoffs of stars from every major promotion in pro res. We're down to just 10 starting wrestlers and 2 hidden wrestlers. As for the game modes, you have a typical exhibition mode, and the main content of the game, circuit mode. There's no edit mode or customization options this time. You know, the other big thing fans love this series for? Not in this game. In Exhibition, you can play or sim a one-on-one match, and that's it. Even the first Fire Pro game back in 1989 had tag matches, but one-on-one is literally the only match type here. So what do you do in circuit mode? One-on-one matches. You wrestle every other wrestler in the game in a straight series of back-to-back matches, and when you beat it, your wrestler gets an ending. It's literally just an arcade mode. The circuit mode can unlock belts to fight for, and beating the mode with the whole starting roster unlocks the 2 hidden wrestlers, but it's so repetitive that your mind will melt long before you ever do that. Our starting roster includes knockoffs of Nobuhiko Takada, Jushin Thunder Liger, Super Delphine, Stan Hansen, Hulk Hogan, The Great Muta, Mitsuharu Misawa, Yoshiaki Fujiwara, Vader, and Akira Maeda, and the 2 bosses are Minoru Suzuki and Antonio Inoki. A small roster, but these choices aren't that bad, as Shoot Style, All Japan, MMA, and even old school New Japan Strong Style get a bit of representation here. But the fact is, going from the wealth of options in the 2D games to this is like going from an all-you-can-eat buffet to a sampler. Honestly, that's what this game feels like. A sampler for something bigger. It feels incomplete. And speaking of things that feel incomplete, Iron Slam 96 tries to transfer the principles of the 2D series over to 3D. The results are not inspiring. Let's recap. Fire Pro is fast-paced, but not button-mashy or arcadey. Walking up to the other wrestler initiates a lockup. During that animation, the wrestlers shift their weight, and pressing one of the buttons in time will let you do a move. Unlike other series like SmackDown, Fire Pro Wrestling doesn't let you just mash buttons or immediately do whatever crazy moves you want. The mechanics try to recreate the pacing and psychology of actual wrestling matches, making you start with weaker moves and build up to stronger ones. The movesets of each wrestler faithfully recreate their real-life counterparts, and the AI in these games have very detailed logic that makes them wrestle just like how those wrestlers do in real life. It's a lot more sophisticated than it looks, even though on the surface it just looks like an old-school 2D game. Iron Slam 96 is built on that foundation, but gone are the 2D sprites, replaced with some of the ugliest 3D graphics you're ever going to see. The timing-based gameplay is still here, but it feels like Human is just going through the motions. It gets the job done, but it's not satisfying. The submissions seem broken, like no matter how much I button mash or anything else, I'll just be trapped in the opponent's move forever. And the AI is really stupid sometimes. Take Vader here. He'll do a slam, he'll climb up to the top rope to jump off, but then he'll just stand there awkwardly and then he'll climb back down. He did a dive once, but he missed me. I've seen Misawa and Inoki successfully do dives, but it's just really weird seeing the AI completely lose the plot here. Another weird thing is how often the AI just bugs out while standing over you when you're laying on the mat. What's going on here? And look at how often the wrestlers clip through the ropes. I swear, this was the WWE 2K20 of the PS1 era. What a mess. The AI still has some of its bells and whistles. I actually popped a little bit when I saw Misawa do a suicide dive sequence like in real life. But besides that, wrestlers don't have a lot of moves, and the AI is really dumb and shallow. This game isn't fun to sim, whereas other entries in the series are genuinely fun to watch because the wrestlers actually act like they do in real life. It's acceptable to play, but that's about it really. It's clunky, awkward, and incomplete. What you see is what you get. Fire Pro Wrestling Iron Slam 96 is the first and only mainline entry to be 3D. When you look at how this turned out, you don't need to be a historian to see why. It's awkward, ugly as hell, not fun to play, offers no customization or gameplay variety, and generally misses the entire point of Fire Pro Wrestling. This was never going to work. It fails to appeal to new wrestling game fans looking for a cool 3D game to play, and it fails to appeal to the Fire Pro fanbase. In other words, this game is a fucking disaster. Just 2 weeks after this game came out, Human released Super Fire Pro Wrestling X Premium on the Super Famicom. Later in the year, they would release Fire Pro Wrestling S 6-Man Scramble on the Sega Saturn. With both of these games, Human basically admitted that Iron Slam 96 was a total disaster and quietly apologized for it by going back to what people actually wanted. The series would later try 3D again with a spin-off called All Japan Pro Wrestling Soul of a Champion, which came out in 1999. That game would take Fire Pro principles and ideas and build a new game from the ground up with both Fire Pro fundamentals and the realities of 3D games in mind. But All Japan Pro Wrestling Soul of a Champion is a story for another time. As for Iron Slam 96, that's all there really is to it. Not much to say. What you see is what you get. And this game is so shallow that just one good session is all you really need to see everything it has to offer. It feels like a beta test or a tech demo for a game that never came. Oh, what a perfect mess. If you have any thoughts on Fire Pro Wrestling or anything else, I'd love to talk about it in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.